You've talked so much about habits and routines. Like you have a morning routine, an evening routine. You just talked about your journaling habit, your intentions for the year. Were these things that became a part of your life over time? And if you could walk us through one of them or a couple of them in depth of your actual practice. So I'd love to hear about what is your personal meditation practice, and then any other one that you pick. That just walk us through it, because I think we see this in successful CEOs, successful founders, entrepreneurs, and just happier, healthier people, that routine and a commitment to practices are really beneficial in their life. What are some of yours that you can walk us through with a bit more depth?
Yeah. So on the podcast, I kept interviewing people and everyone talked about a morning routine and meditation. And I'm like, if all of these really successful people that I admire do this, there's got to be something to it. So pre-pandemic, I was just waking up, working, going to sleep, working on the weekends. I had no routine and schedule. That was not great for me. But during the pandemic, I actually had time for myself to pick up a meditation habit, to figure out how to journal, to make a morning routine for myself. So I started doing a morning routine because I thought other people were doing it. And I think that's where I failed at first, because I'm like, oh, these people do these things in their morning routine. I need to wake up and work out. I need to wake up and do this. But those things didn't work for me. So it was trying something for a week. Do I feel better? Yes or no? What things should I eliminate and what things should I keep? And I got it to a routine of the things that feel best for me. Those 5 things might not work for you, but it's the things that work best for me. And so it's trial and error of figuring out, how can I set myself up best for the day? Basically, once I start working in the day, my mind is going at all times, and I am always someone who's thinking of 50 different things. And so meditation is the only time in my day where I'm actually just sitting and being and thinking of either the meditation that's happening if it's guided, or I do like a 13 to 20 minute meditation where there's no music, there's no guiding. I just have like a bell that goes. And I'm just sitting and breathing, and I'm never in stillness all day. I'm on my phone, I'm on the computer. And so having that time for myself really just is like a great way to start the day. And then another thing is the intentions. And I mentioned before, I like to call them intentions instead of goals, because I think we might feel like we didn't meet our goals if we didn't do this thing that we set out on a piece of paper to cross off. But if it's my intention to do my morning routine every day, I'm intending to do it. But if I don't feel like a failure because I only did it 5 days this week. Or if I intend to live a healthier life and eat well and work out because I want to fuel my body, that's my intention, instead of being like, oh, I have to be this weight, or I want to do this thing or be at this goal. I think it's a lot kinder with yourself. So then you feel more motivated by actually doing them and checking them off versus I didn't complete this goal for myself. I think it's also great to set actual tangible goals you can do, but also know that some goals are out of our control. So if you want to hit a certain number follower or a subscriber or a download count, you cannot control that. You can create the best content you can, but you can't make someone watch the content. You can't make them download or follow. So what you don't want to do is say like, I have to hit 1 million followers by the end of the year. And if you don't hit it, be upset. You can say, I intend to create the best community this year that I can. I want the followers that are there to love me and be happy with the content I create. And then you can ask yourself, are they happy? Am I fulfilled with the content I'm creating? And then that intention can be crossed off versus being disappointed that you didn't hit this number that was out of your control to begin with. So those intentions are really important for me. And then within the business, we do set goals for ourselves of things that we want to do, and then set realistic expectations for ourselves of like, what do we think we actually can do, versus like insane goals that you might not get to and then always feeling sad if you're not hitting them.
I love the way you just described the difference between intentions and goals. I hope everyone, because whenever you're setting New Year's resolutions, you're setting goals, you're setting new quarterly goals, like that language needs to change, because goals are what you want out of something and intentions are what you put into something, and you only get out what you put in. And I love that it's so much better to measure yourself against your intentions. Measuring yourself against your goals will always make you feel like a failure.
Yeah. And I think something I've learned recently too is I can have goals and intentions for myself of things that I'm working towards, because I want great things in life. Like I'm doing all the things I want because I have these big things that I think I can accomplish. But I can do that while still being present and happy with where I am today. And that's come from really being in my 30s. So before I was always, when you're younger, you're like, I have to be married and have kids by 30. I have to do this, like Forbes 30 under 30. I have to do all these things by this age. But it's like, why, when life is long? And one of the best exercises I did for myself was I wrote down everything I wanted to accomplish in my life and the age I thought it might happen. When I got to 45, I had nothing left. I had nothing left to reach. And I'm like, if I accomplish all these things by 45, I'm going to live for decades longer. What more do I have to look forward to in the years to come? That gave me so much pause to enjoy the journey I'm on, enjoy where I'm at today, be happy, because these things we have today, the things we get to do, the jobs we get to do, the brands we get to work with, the opportunities we have, we wished for the things we have now. So I don't want to rush through them just trying to get to where I'm trying to go. I want to be happy where I am today. I know it's going to come in time. And if it's a little bit later than I thought, it's fine, because I have so many more years left of my life to do all these things that I hope to accomplish.
Yeah, that's such a great exercise that if you did write down everything you wanted to do, most people would put the end date as like 30 or 40 or 45. And it's like, you should have achieved everything. And life's so much longer than that. And there's so many more gaps in between. I had a friend who recently found love, and his business and his work took a bit of a back burner, but he found someone that he really wants to spend a lot of time with, and that's what he was doing. And I was saying, you just won, right? Like you could see that as like 2 years out in your business journey. And so now his business is 2 years behind. But I was like, you've just saved yourself years because you found a partner that you're really connected to. And I think often we think of it as like they're separate. Like there's work and then there's life. And it's like, well, no. They're so interrelated. The way you just shared that is spectacular. Like I hope everyone writes that down, takes that away.